Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mage,
And this is Vyvanne.
and we're going to be bringing you a great game from the FML Season 20 qualifiers. Go ahead and get the proper vision on here. Vyvanne actually was an observer in this game, so maybe he'll have some special insight. So let's go ahead and go now, and we're going to start at the bottom right position where we have Fa Q, perhaps a little play on words there for Seksi. Fuck You is actually better known as Seksi or Iskaze or Surround King or any of his other 3,000 aliases. So left of him in one of the surrounded positions we have AlienWareOwnZ, an old school name that we didn't see a whole lot of until this season when he came back. He's actually done fantastically in the qualifiers so far, and we'll see if he was able to continue it in this game. Left of him, we have Fao. He is also known as Vicky.Soso. He's an undead player, better known for solo, but he's dabbled in the free-for-all community for a while at least. And then lastly, we have Mog Skynet, our Season 19 champion, one of my co-casters. Great person, great player, and he's actually playing Orc, which I've never seen before. So this game features all 4 players being random. Fao managed to grab undead, or at least the description said random. It would be interesting to see if Fao actually was random. But Seksi is a random player by nature. I don't know about AlienWareOwnZ. I believe he is. And Mog is usually a dedicated Night Elf player. So interesting to see how he manages to pull Orc off, and if we can claim that Orc is just completely imbalanced.
And that's Soso the human player?
Soso is usually an undead player, I think, in solo as well. But I don't know that for sure.
Interesting, because I usually see him posting all the time in the chat box. I could have sworn he's human.
Oh, maybe he's changed over. I know when I actually paid attention to our players, he was undead back when I was playing in Season 13, Season 12, something around then. But perhaps he's decided that he was tired of playing the worst race in free-for-all and decided to pick up human.
Okay. So let's see, we've got one thing we didn't mention a lot during these qualifiers, that it all seemed to be there was very few games where the spawns were quote-unquote balanced, where it's kind of all spread out a little bit. We always had either a 3 on one side and 1 on the other, the Marco luck. If you are an old school player and you remember Marco, he was infamous. For those who don't know, understand the joke, Marco luck is when you get position locked, and you have your 3 opponents on the other side of the map, and you have this entire side of the map to yourself, and it became it just so happened that a lot of the games he played, especially in these bigger match games, he would always spawn with ridiculous luck, and it became known as Marco luck. So there were a lot of Marco luck games, or everyone was just smushed together, just with 2 people being sandwiched, two others on the outside, making for very interesting, very aggressive games.
Yeah, and I would actually expect a aggressive push from Fao here. Undead is great for early pushing Orc, and actually in one of our season finals we had Duck, or RSM as some know him, actually Fiend Tower Rush lightweight out of the game at about the 4-minute mark. So Fao looks like he's going to go at least get expansion first, and this will be interesting to see if there's any competition over this expansion, but I would not be at all surprised to see Fao get 4 or 5 Fiends out, go ahead and test his luck, see if he can take Mog out of the game, especially since it looks like Mog is not getting any grunts and is going for a quick tech to Wyvern.
Yeah, I was talking with Sosa about this, and he said he did the math, and on average, going your standard grunt opener with 3 grunts and a Blade Master or your other hero of choice with a fast expansion, you do tend to edge out a little bit, about 2,000 gold difference or so. Yeah, because now that's not counting towers too. And of course, it's very map dependent. On a map like, let's say, Gold Rush or Twilight, you can solo creep with a Blade Master. By all means, tech solo creep with the BM, get your expansion up. That's about the perfect scenario. But most of the cases, he says it's probably overall economically better to do your standard grunt expand.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I'm not a big fan of solo hero teching up, but the devil's advocate to that is you do get this Wyvern out early, and I'd be interesting to see what the experience change is for creeping with those early Wyvern versus grunts. Now, that's bit moot on this map because pretty much everything on it can be creeped by 2 grunts and a blade master pretty easily. But on one of those harder maps like Market Square, I think there's a good case to be made for getting your Wyvern early and being able to take out some of those creeps without too much trouble with Wyvern, that they might die pretty easily to, the grunts might die pretty easily too. I am curious if Mog is planning on actually rushing somebody out here, going for one of those rare inside rushes. And Fow, let's see how much he scouts this. Because if he... Ooh, completely misses the scout on Mog, actually. If you switch over to his line of vision, you can see he did not see any bit of Mog on that one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and Mog isn't... So he's definitely scouted Fow. But hasn't seen anything else yet. But at least he knows no one is to his north.
Yep, and going with a very solo-style building here, sold his TP off to help build the bestiaries, get them out quicker. Something you don't see that often, and when you do, you usually see it selling to at least get boots out of it, but Mog just going purely for the macro route here. He is one of our smarter players who really practices his creeps, builds, stuff like that frequently, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing, but boy, very risky at the moment, I'd say. We do see Seksi tearing through these creeps of the Dark Ranger. I mean, I think it's pretty much uncontested that the Dark Ranger is the best hero to creep this map with. I mean, everything goes down. Dark Rangers galore, Dark Minions galore, sorry, and gets this Panda. Seksi having a very solid opening here, putting his second expansion up as we speak. Tree of Eternity going up, sitting right at 100 gold now, 350 wood, but ahead of the game compared to everybody else, in my opinion. AlienWareOwnZ at 1800, 350, has 1 expansion up, and will be going to put his second expansion up as we speak. Meanwhile, Fow with no expansions at the moment, and Mog with no expansions either.
Yep, it's definitely a small map in terms of creeping, and it's very quickly crept out, and the rush is to see what kind of, I forget what tier it is, but whatever the group of items, that's the Sobi Mask, plus 9 claws, let's see, the Talisman of Evasion, plus 6 stat items, depending on your heroes and your race. Some of these can be extremely useful, others not quite so much. That's mostly kind of be like a 200 gold boost basically if you want to sell the item.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm a little bit confused by this just because I think that, I mean, this map has so much gold on it for a map that has so few creeps, and it really surprised me that some of these players are willing to put off their expansion so long, especially Fow or Vicky Soso, who possibly is going to lose out on all these expansions if he's not careful and Mog decides to put an expansion towards him. Now, that would be a dick move on Mog's part, but weirder stuff has happened.
Yeah, and as Undead too, like, yes, you're not the fast expander, but you can still get your Scout Acolyte out, and just don't let it die. You can get your tier 2 tech started, and you might delay your, just a couple of fiends, but the creeps aren't that difficult. If you get 2 charges of your Necromancy Wand, and a third when you kill your first unit at the creep camp, you can creep it up pretty quickly, get your expansion up. And let's look at his vision. He scouted the human alien to his right. Oh, that's right, and that's even more so. He thinks he's not alone on his side of the map, so that's doubly curious why he's not expanding.
Yeah, and Fow now actually attacking Seksi. Seksi getting TP in here. Surprised that Fow's taking this fight here. Seems very interesting. And then we have Alienware coming in as well, and Alienware's army is pretty much the best thing that Seksi could have asked for. Just these foots without defend at the moment. I mean, you can't blame Alienware for going for them, but that's really just the army that every Night Elf loves to see, and we are going to see a 2v1 fight coming in here. Seksi's got to be careful that he doesn't lose these archers to Fow, who's trying to pick him off with the Death Knight. Meanwhile, Alienware and Seksi deciding, okay, it'll be a good time to go ahead and get out of here, apparently. Mog being left to creep alone, uncontested, and we're going to have kind of a 3-way battle that may leave Mog in good shape to start hoarding up. He does have his second expansion going up as we speak. Soso continues to not have any expansions at the moment, sitting 46 of 50, so capped in 4 more food. really confused as to what he's doing. This does not seem to be a very intelligent move.
Yeah, if you see that kind of like ultra fast tech build, might be like a. You'll see it sometimes where when they'll put down the what's it called sacrificial pit, and then do double boneyard into like a very quick mass frostworm rush, which is pretty effective against an orc because they might not get their tier 3 armor upgrades in time, which Mog is just about to start now. But if you don't have it up in time and you see a bunch of frostworms come in, you are so screwed because you can destroy the burrows very quickly, towers die very quickly, and suddenly you're in a very poor situation. But he's not even doing that either, so
yeah,
kind of a little bit of questionable play here.
You could also just use your 5 Crypt Fiends to take him out because an early game orc is unable to defend against a Fiend Rush. I mean, that's kind of been proven over and over again.
Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing. If you get Wyvern tech, well, if you have like a lot of them with Link and casters and upgrades, sure, Wyvern can beat Fiends, but in the early game, no, not really.
Well, so Alienware is going to go ahead, continue to put some pressure on. Going completely cross-map now is So-So, which, I mean, I admire Foul for doing this. It's just he should have done it quite a bit earlier, but that is a good job of actually just completely cross-map expanding, and that will put him at 2 expansions. We have Alienware at 2, and Seksi has 2, but he is continuing to be harassed and pressured. And here we go, TP coming in, and he does have an extra TP on the Keeper of the Grove. Nice job getting out in front there, and bunch of experience for him by just disenchanting these water elementals, and that's level 3 on the Panda.
Level 3.
And something that really we haven't pointed out yet, and was not done very well last game, but good for Seksi for actually getting boots on his Panda. A lot of these heroes are missing boots, and that's important for every hero in the game. We do see Mog and Val going for a fight here. Let's see if the Dreadlord is going to go down, and we get a Hex off on the Death Knight. That's going to be game over for the Dreadlord. Level 1 DK, Dreadlord does go down, and Death Knight is currently stomped. There's no TP on the Lich, so he'll have to be careful that he does not lose the Lich as well, since it is only level 1 at the moment. Mog just being fed massive amounts of experience right now. Blade Master is getting low, but has Windwalk, and no problem on mana for him.
Yeah, once you have Bloodlust, like, all you need is Blade Master. Who needs an army?
Yeah. And we do have another quick fight going up top here. Just missed a little bit of that one, but with the Mountain King getting very low, and the Mountain King does go down.
Keeper, ooh, nice stuff.
Yeah, Seksi is really doing a very nice early game job here, defending himself against 2 different people harassing his expansions and gaining massive amounts of experience on a map where there's not much experience to be had. And I like the fact that all of our players are really not using very much chat or manip. It's a refreshing change of pace. Usually you see somebody get harassed by multiple people early on, there's going to be a lot more complaining. Seksi did go ahead and type out a couple question marks, but I think that's honestly he was more curious as to why So-So was cross-mapping him.
Yeah, I personally am a big fan of zero manip, zero chat. I was actually known for that back when I was playing Free For All, when ladder was really the only thing that most people played. Everyone knew me for playing Orc Ground and never speaking a word in games, only to say hello and GG, or like after the game is like clearly over, then I'll chat a little bit about the game. But I mean, I personally don't like it. I know it's a part of the game. I know it's an aspect that can be used and sometimes abused, but personally, I think it's annoying. I'd rather just play my game and win purely on my own decision making, good or bad, and micro. And if I lose, whatever, I'll just queue and play again. Which I know it's not everyone follows that. It's not everyone's mentality. It's just my personal thing. I think manip is just annoying, and just like sometimes when people do, I'm just like, shut up, play the fucking game, quit your bitching. If you're gonna lose, scout better, kind of a thing.
Yeah, it might be a little more complicated than that when other people get involved that don't scout and such, but that's a conversation for another game, since we could probably go on for hours and hours about that. In fact, we have gone on for hours and hours about that before. You can look up any of those previous arguments, and we do see, so Alienware continuing to put heavy pressure on Seksi's expansion. Seksi low on wood, since there is not a Shredder on this map. Tank coming in, and if it was going to attack, it might be able to take out this Expo, but it looks like Seksi will get here in time. Not repairing yet, though. So we'll see how he does on this, but Tank is going to go up and hit the other expansion. And this is going to be very close to see if the Tree of Life goes down. Looks like at the moment it will go down. So how much will Alienware lose as a cost of this? Is going to have to use a TP to get out of there. Loses a single Griffin, and will lose this tank after Seksi goes and kills it. But still not a bad trade-off for Alienware.
Yep, he is already close to 80 food. Yeah, he is at 80 right now. Let's see, he's got 3,400 gold. Seksi, yeah, he's definitely hurting on lumber. 110. Just making some more wisps to help compensate. And yep, that's that annoying human play. Send a tank or two to an expansion.
Yep, and ooh, Mog gets really good jump and positioning on Fau here. Fau could lose this Lich very, very quickly. We see his Stomp go off and down goes that Lich.
Stomp, ooh.
So this is really the problem, is Fau is now so under-leveled. He did not get the creeping he needed to maintain those heroes, and just pretty much going to continue to feed Mog at this point. Burrowed Fiend goes down as well, so Mog pretty low on gold actually, but does have his third expansion going up momentarily, and he's just going to continue to have these heroes get pumped up more and more and more. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we do have Seksi trying to fight off these tanks. We'll see how he's doing. A little more even in this fight, and the tanks are going to do a fair bit of damage, but Seksi's hero is going up pretty quickly. We're now at level 5 Dark Ranger, so that's going to be a huge silence area of effect, and we'll see if he can grab Charm before too long. Panda almost at level 4, and the Keeper of the Grove about halfway to level 3. Nice job getting these Chimeras out of range, and also using them to tank, make sure the tanks don't do any more damage to the buildings than need be. So Alienware now fighting a losing battle. Probably should consider getting out of here. Going to make one more last-ditch effort at taking down this Dark Ranger, but going to be unsuccessful, I believe. And Paladin getting very, very low. We'll see that go down as well. So Seksi doing a great job of controlling this fight, minimizing the damage as it goes on, and Alienware needs to consider getting out of here as soon as possible.
Yeah, Alien's problem here is that he initially had a good fighting force to take out some units and buildings, but he has nothing to take out the Dryads. And with the Dryads having pure impunity to dispel all the water elementals, no mortar teams or anything to kill them, his Griffins are going to be food very quickly, Priests are going to be food.
Yeah, we can see he's building Breakers now, which is a very good counter to this army. Breakers tanks are a pain in the ass to deal with. So that'll work out well. The question is, how many will we get built, and is Seksi going to continue to hit up? And we do see Mog coming in and going to try and get some more experience out of Fau. Fau capped at 60, putting up his third mine as we speak, but very low on gold as well. So let's go around the map really quickly. We got Mog at 25, 500, sitting at 79 of 80. We've got Alienware going up to 100 as we speak. 2 fights going on. We're going to quickly zoom back and forth here. Fau's fight going to be a little more delayed, I think, so let's see how Seksi and Alienware handle this one. We do see the Entangle go off on the Archmage, getting that Keeper of the Grove out of the way. We see that the Dark Ranger is very low, does have a Scroll of Healing if needed. Hopefully Seksi doesn't get too cute, but does TP out of there. Let's switch back over to the other fight. Looks like the Dreadlord went down yet again, and we're going to see this Destroyer in position to take down. So more even hero levels for Mog, and we can see that he's just preying on these level 1 heroes, not even getting that much experience out of them at the moment, but able to take them down so quickly with this Blade Master doing huge crits, and this has got to be a good game for So-So unless he decides to rebuild across the map completely, which may be his solution. Blade Master is getting low though. There we go, Healing Ward goes off. We'll see if the Death Knight manages to survive this, but I'm guessing it's going to be bad news for it. Okay, does TP out, and TP's away as well, so Fau surrendering his main base. Mog going to be able to do it. Mog wisely, though, backing off now, and just going to try and tome and get more experience out of Fau that way, not get himself teamed. So we do have Seksi at 800, 400, 77 food. Nice job adding the Mountain Giant to the army mix there. I like it. But he is going to be fighting a severe food disadvantage right now. We'll see how good his micro is and how good these Moonwells are. A couple mortars mixed in like you were talking about earlier. And tanks are late to getting to the party. So not a great army positioning here. Paladin goes down.
Paladin goes down, yeah.
And he's really going to regret it when this Panda hits level 5 soon.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that he might have a bigger army, Alien might have a bigger army, but he's not really been killing many of Seksi's units. He still have a level 1 Mountain King, level 1 Paladin, and with staff use, wells...
There you go. Does get a single Chimera at least. But yeah, you can see all these low units right now. And Seksi can go ahead and TP back further into his own base. Let's see if he can manage to kill off these engines. Nope, so a couple of lucky hits on the engines here. We can see that he's killed down 16 food so far, so Seksi at 71, he's lost about 8 food. And Alienware clearly coming out a little bit worse for wear in the actual fighting department right now. Probably should go ahead and back up, although he is doing good damage to the buildings, but he's got so many low units at the moment.
It's almost level 5 Panda.
Level 5 Panda does just pop out, yep. So this is probably not what Alienware wants to see, and he does manage to get the Keep of the Grove, but the Mountain King goes down first, so more experience passed over to Seksi than Alienware will get. And I don't know why Alienware continues to fight these fights. He really needs to get out of here. He's doing great damage going in on the initial fights, but just sticking around a little bit too long. On the other hand, any bit of experience is getting that Archmage closer to level 6. It is level 5 now, and he's not in great shape gold-wise at the moment, unfortunately. Does have another expansion going up though, so he may be able to run his 3rd expansion before too long, and we can see Mog doing a nice job keeping track of the cross-map builds, really taking advantage of all these sentry wards on the map that he can put, and just doing that nice job regardless of race of scouting, playing smart, making up for any micro inefficiencies he may have in general by playing Orc.
Yeah, he's pretty much having an ideal as a game as you can as Orc, not getting rushed out just by the tech. He's getting a bunch of mines up, getting experience on his heroes. He's got most of his tech out now, ready and going. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to quickly switch over to Alienware's site. So he has no idea about what's going on with the other players. He has no idea how many expansions Mog has. Seksi also has really no idea of how bad things are. So Mog doing a little bit better job of scouting the other players, and we can see that Fau's going to try and take down that expansion, does prevent it from going up, but still, long run, Fau being in the game is better for Mog for sure. And from Fau's point of view, he really has no idea either, so overall, Mog is doing the best at scouting in this game, but still not the best job of scouting in general. Really kind of a weak game in scouting. People are very focused on their 1v1s, which understandable, but that could be a late game slip up. We'll see how that plays out later. Really bad pathing luck for Seksi here. We do see Alienware clustered around the market at the moment. Food-wise, we've got 76 food for Alien, 76 for Seksi, so pretty much a dead even fight. Not taking into account our other units, such as Wisps and Peasants. We do see Charm on that level 6 Dark Ranger, and then we're going to see if Fau can defend the attack here from Mog. Not looking great to begin with, however, he is lucky. Mog does not have any bats on him, so these gargoyles are going to do a fair bit of damage. However, they are 2-0 with 0 armor upgrade. We'll see if the Shadow Hunter survives here. Shadow Hunter looking very low and does go down to the Death Knight. That's level 5 on the Death Knight. So far, this looks like it's going more in Fau's favor, although we can see the moment one of these heroes gets focused down for Fau, they pretty much just melt away.
Yep, still level 1 Dreadlord. Poor GL. Well, let's hit level 2 at least. So, some progress. Baby steps.
Yeah, you can see that he's just stacking healing potions, though, on that Lich, knowing that it's going to go down pretty much instantaneously. And Mog with a nice little bit of subtle manipulation, saying that he did lose that Shadow Hunter, trying to make it seem like he's not winning the fight as much as he is, and it's working for him since they're not scouting it.
Yep, and there goes. Yep, he has Charm already. Uh-oh.
We can see Mog at 9,000 gold already, Fau at 1,300, Alienware is at 1,400, and Seksi's at 1,000. So, despite Mog not having the hero levels of either Alienware or especially Seksi, he is way ahead in gold count, and he's not that far behind on his heroes once that Shadow Hunter comes back out. There we go. So we can see some subtle back and forth manipulation going on at the moment.
Yeah, there's an interesting balance of power right now. So we've got Mog with arguably the overall the strongest in terms of balance when it comes to like gold, hero levels, well, golden hero levels, really. On the flip side, and then upgrades, too. On the flip side, we got Seksi, who's got the strongest hero levels, but 0 upgrade. Oh, well, no, he's got 1. Okay. He's starting to get his upgrades out. He's down his triple quad mines. Well, I guess 3 mines then, since his main's gone. He is building in the middle. Let's see. Alien is... She does have an 80-foot army, 2,500 gold, working on upgrades, but he does have very poor hero levels, and that's really, really big. You have a level 5 Archmage, which is good, but you really do want a higher level Paladin to try to help save some units of the Holy Light, bolts to help focus down units and heroes. And let's see, for Fao, he's got 5, 2, and 1 as well.
Yeah.
And no gold.
And Fao looks like he's almost certain to be the first one out of this game. I mean, he's got no gold, little wood, only 70 food army, and it's getting even lower as we speak. I'm surprised Mog's not adding any bats into this army, but I guess he really feels like he doesn't need them at this point. And he likes to have the casters and Wyvern more, as well as the bajillion peons he has mining gold. And we do see AlienWare continuing to harass Seksi, so they look like they're pretty dedicated to keeping their fight going on while Fao dies.
Yep, and that's the thing. When Fao keeps trying to hit and run, well, you can't really hit and run against 2 heroes with Orb of Lightning.
Yeah, and you can't really hit and run from your own base either.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of running area to go to.
Interesting. Not as much as Seksi is feeding.
Yeah, I think you meant that Seksi is getting fed, though.
Ah. That makes more sense.
Seksi is 653 already.
Yeah.
And Mog just allowing Fao to go ahead and rebuild. And there we go. We see Seksi missing out on the general scouting. It is a little bit harder with Night Elf since there's no invulnerable unit unless you have Priest of the Moon to do it. Comes in, gonna go ahead and charm one of these Griffins, I would think. Maybe? Maybe he's looking for a breaker. But we do see Mountain King just barely get staffed away.
Ooh,
Beautiful
nice
staff.
2 HP.
However, the rest of the unit's getting pretty low here for AlienWare, clumped together, getting a lot of Chimera Splash, and really focusing heavily on going for siege engines right now. Certainly not a bad thing, but the moment that the Chims get moved out of the way, that Panda is going to have free reign of taking down the tanks. Can see Fao going ahead and attacking Mog on the other side of the map. Not going to go over and look at that fight at the moment, since I'm guessing it's going to be Mog taking it away, and this is going to be a much more interesting fight going on. Surprised that AlienWare is keeping himself to only 3 breakers. Breakers are incredibly good against the Panda when they just drain away that mana. And AlienWare playing a little bit of a weak game at the moment, just backing himself away from Seksi and letting himself get hit by the Breath of Fire, and there's a big one coming in right afterwards. Seksi also could use a Potion of Mana on that Panda, but he is going to staff it back. Let's see, I don't see a Staff of Teleportation though, but does heal up all the way on mana, coming back to the fight soon. Nice job by AlienWare to continue to harass the expansions by splitting his tanks. Probably could do it even more so, to be honest. But here we see Seksi is going to be forced to try and pick which he's going to save. Looks like AlienWare should manage to take down this expansion, presuming he continues to focus on it. Tank slowness coming into play, though. And there we go. DC Charm go off on the Griffin. First one that we've seen. And how much damage is going to be done to AlienWare before he gets out of here? Decent bit, but goes down to 81. Not sure if he's going to go up to 100 or kill off a peasant really quick to knock himself down to 80. So it continues to be an interesting game with 3 of our main players. Fao doing a nice job of keeping himself harassing in the game, making sure he's annoying to Mog, since he knows that Mog wants to keep him in, and trying to make it worth it so Mog just pieces him, not worth having his expansions killed. Mog is going to TP in here, Fao first to TP away as well, and you can guess who has the gold to spare and who doesn't from that. And AlienWare asking Mog for a little help taking down Seksi. Seksi now back up to 3,200 gold, still very low on wood, but recovering nicely macro-wise here, and we see him take the offensive for the first time in a while. Alienware is being forced to go back up to a full 100 food army, just so it can keep up with the 80 food army that Seksi's playing with.
And it's just those hero levels. The silence is just devastating.
Yeah, silence, and then the level 3 Breath of Fire. I mean, 450 mana as well. That's just really hurts the human player here. And Alienware apparently forgot that his Expo had actually already been taken out on that route too. Looking around, so it looks like we've got 2 expansions with a third one going. Nope, third one running. So the only saving grace here for Alienware is that he does have 3 expansions running, and if he can get Mog to scout a little bit more, he'll see that it's 6/6 soon with that panda hitting 6, and that's very good incentive for any player to team somebody. And at this point, I think I like Mog's position the best, to be honest. Seksi is doing very well in this fight, but I think it's likely he'll get teamed momentarily. And boy, these tanks clustering together sure are a tempting target for that panda.
Oh yeah, and there goes the roar.
Yep. And in come the Chimeras, trying to get him pulled back, and big Breath of Fire there. Panda just doing so much damage. Does get stunned here. We'll see if the breakers can drain a good bit of it. Nice surround by the tanks.
Yep.
Pro play by Alienware. We'll see one more unit just goes down, and there's 6, but no mana for it. Does get staffed out. So does get 6 on it, and unfortunately a bit of a waste on that very nice surround by Alienware. Here we go. We're going to continue to see scouting with all the Gargs for Fao, trying to harass, do some damage to Mog. He really does need to get some experience if he wants to have any shot in this game. Death Knight is 5, but the 2/1 heroes are just so easy to go down, and interesting choice here by Fao attacking Alienware. Just saying he needs an expansion, and that would not be who I'd choose to attack. We do see a 2v1 teaming of Seksi going on. Now let's see how Seksi and Mog manage to take this fight. I think I like Seksi's chances. Very good army composition to battle Mog at the moment. And by that I mostly mean the Dark Ranger having silence is very good. So we could see an interesting Alienware versus Fao fight soon, which would give Alienware a good amount of experience, assuming he manages to take out Fao, or at least take out this army, and then we could see kind of our 2 stronger players and our 2 weaker players fight off here. Maybe a blessing in disguise right now for Alienware.
Yeah, that might be a good plan, because obviously the tanks will wreck guards if Fao decides to stick around, get Alien some much needed hero levels to help combat the absurd hero level advantage that Seksi has.
Yep, and here we do see that Mog takes out 1 expansion, so Seksi is comfortable-wise for gold right now at 5,500, but not where he'd want to be, not the 17,500 that Mog has. We'll see if Mog decides to TP in here to fight Seksi. I see no reason why he wouldn't want to. In come the Chimeras later on. We'll see how this fight goes, and if Seksi decides to actually take it. And yep, looks like Seksi is going to fight this, and bam, all those Wind Riders get big damage, but heal from the Shadow Hunter goes off smoothly here. Nice job by Seksi using that Mountain Giant effectively. Does look like we got a quick fight below, and we see the Shadow Hunter getting very low. Gonna have to TP out here. The Shadow Hunter goes down. So hero advantage goes to Seksi right now. Mog being forced to TP out, and Seksi establishes itself as the dominant force in the game right now. No doubting it, Seksi is our strongest player at the moment.
Yes, indeed. And on an amusing note, I'm pretty sure we have some players with ally colors turned on, because Fao's mentioned a couple times, I don't want to hit red, but he's... Oh, wait, no, wait. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the replay colors turned on, so there actually might be different colors. Never mind.
Could be. I have red as AlienWareOwnZ in this.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that if, with the replay parser thingy that I have, it standardizes everyone's colors.
Yeah.
So that one, becomes red, blue, yellow, and green. And it's not like, oh, teal, and then dark green, and then someone always, on the side note, someone always freaking picks brown in those damn free-for-all bot games, and it's so annoying to see on the map. Like, oh my god, really?
Yeah, that's why we've got brown and dark green banned in FML games.
Yep.
Otherwise, you pretty much do have to turn ally colors on.
Yeah, like I do in the very beginning to see, okay, well, this is where so-and-so is. I'll just remember that, try to remember player 2 is over here. Then, like, once you get, like, 10 minutes in, like, the fighting starts, I always switch to ally collecting. I'm always like, oh god, I'm old and I'm blind, and, like, I feel like I'm, like, clicking units, and especially, like, a guard mirror war. Oh god, no, gotta turn on ally colors.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that since I'm Night Elf, and I just kind of attack move all my units in.
Let's see. So Seksi's taking out Mog's expansion here. Well, not really too much of a loss. It's only got 400 gold left. But I'm actually a little bit surprised. Foe is still left to mine these 3. He's at it for pretty much all game.
Yeah, and it's kind of a testament to how much he's been getting owned, though, that he only has 3.5 gold right now. AlienWare doing a nice job of, while both attacking Fow, but he's also harassing Seksi at the same time. So earning Mog's favor at least, and should gain some experience out of this as well. Nice move on his part. We see Bats are now into the game right now. We've got Mog at 94 food versus we've got 64 for Seksi, so even with Mog's having the hero disadvantage, he should be able to take this fight, assuming nothing goes wrong. And it does look like Seksi is going to do a lot of damage via Breath of Fire to these Wind Riders. In fact, okay, gonna TP out, otherwise one more big Breath of Fire might have done it there. AlienWare is at, let's see, he's at 82 food right now, only 1,300 gold, but is pushing into Fow, and let's see how much Fow is losing to these tanks. Ouch. Melting through them. Does have a scroll of healing go off, but a little bit too late. And Tower's doing a decent bit of damage right now, but just so many tanks in his base. This could be the end of Fow.
And then Sex is getting some much needed levels. He's got level 3 Mountain King now. 2.675, whatever, on his Paladin, so definitely needs to hopefully get the level 3 Paladin to get a level 2 Light.
Yeah, is going to TP out, though.
It's TPing out, actually, yeah.
Interesting choice. I'm not sure why. And also very low on wood at the moment. I bet he's, I wonder if he's going to 2v1 Mog. Or not Mog, sorry, Seksi. That's the only reason I can think that he TP out is if he's going to move over and attack Seksi as well.
Let's see, Mog has a very big... That's 100 food, yep. He's got 100 food with a lot of Wyvern.
And decent bit of Bat Riders mixed in so they can take out those Hippogriffs early on. I like this army composition pretty well. Let's see. 2 of each type of caster. He's got a lot of Wyvern, 5 bats in here. Pretty much everything you could ask for except for a Kodo.
Yep, that's what, full control group, 3 heroes plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 Wyvern-ish. Yeah. So some heavy focus fire potential here.
Here we go. AlienWare is going to go ahead and attack Seksi and TP, and this is going to be bad news if Alien gets caught right now.
Mountain King!
And Tango goes off the Mountain King. He needs to go ahead and TP out if he wants to save that Mountain King, I think. And, well, it's going to help Mog out by taking some of these Griffin Hippos down, but that's really not helping Alienware at the moment. And we do see the Mountain King getting very low again. He gets staffed out there. Paladin, if he doesn't get the Divine Shield up, is going to die, and he does. And here comes Mog coming in. We're going to have a TP out for Seksi. Bad, bad, bad fight for him. Did not see Mog coming in. And that's going to give Mog decent heroes for sure. See if we did hit level 5 on that Shadow Hunter. And Seksi could be in danger right now. Yeah, Seksi could get a run right through. Alienware has played very nicely in terms of knowing who's the strongest so far. We'll see if he switches over to Mog after this, because I think Mog's just taking the crown for the strongest player in the game.
With that massive creep check, he just went from losing to Seksi to taking out all of Seksi's mines, except for 1, and he's at... Oh, he's rebuilding, okay. He was at 50 food for a second there.
Yep, but he is rebuilding, however. We're going to see his last expansion go down, and then he's not going to be able to get a 100 food army out by the time that Mog gets into his base. We'll see what Alienware decides to do, because I don't see any way that Seksi escapes this without a little bit of help, at least.
Yeah.
And nice job by Seksi going ahead and getting that anti-magic shield on. And in come bats. There are just a bunch more bats flying across the map right now. So if he does try to take out that main, it's going to go down very, very quickly. But we do see Fao is attacking Mog, and that might be the distraction that is needed. Wisely ignoring it for now. Going to see how much damage he can do here. And let's see this bat usage, because this is going to be crucial to see how this goes. Waste one on a Chimera. Not the ideal solution right there. And waste another on a Chimera. So not bothering to take out the Hippogriffs could be a mistake, as the Hippogriffs are tearing through his Wind Riders at the moment. Nice silence on all those heroes. So we've got Seksi at 51 right now. He is losing food minute by minute here. And let's see if the Dark Ranger is going to go down. Dark Ranger is very low. It is Hex. It just gets a nice heal from those moon walls. Smart heads-up play there, and we do see Alienware coming in. He is attacking Mog, it looks like, so Mog will get the quick 3v1 treatment as well, and this could be a game saver for Seksi. Although, no, he's nope. Alienware is now attacking Seksi. I'm not sure who he's trying to attack, but I think it was an accidental attack.
Yeah, he's backing off.
Yep, and Mog going back to his main base. Mog got all the way down to 42. Actually, even lower than that, down to 36 food. And only gained about, I don't know, 400 experience out of that, so Mog had it lined up for a nice fight there. Did manage to make Seksi drain all of his moon walls. Seksi is low on wood as well, but not what he was hoping for going in, probably, and he lost an expansion at the same time. Looks like Seksi may bank at 50 for a while, though. Except he doesn't have any mines running, but... So let's see here. Go ahead.
Yeah, the balance of power has definitely been shifting a lot. I almost wonder, is Mog... is Mog kind of regretting not just completely killing off Fao? Because yes, it would have turned into a three-way, but it would have... I don't know. It's one of those things that's kind of hard to tell and hard to call, but Fao is definitely not entirely out yet.
Yeah, hard, and I suspect that Fao has now outlived his usefulness, and I would not be surprised to see Mog end him now, and down goes that Lich.
There goes the Lich.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see Mog go ahead and get rid of Fao, because they were 2v1ing, and, so it's interesting that Alienware is trying to do a little bit of damage here to Seksi. It looks like takes out at least one tower. I'm not even sure what Alienware's plan is right now. I mean, if he wanted to, he might be able to do a lot of damage to Seksi, because Seksi is really low on wood and only has 41 food.
Seksi trying to do a little bit of minute there while he rebuilds his 3 mines.
Yep, and not a surprise there at all. Seksi well known
says, "Oh, quit whining." I'm not. It's fun. Fun to fight. I agree.
We are very close to this Keeper of the Grove getting level 6, which will benefit Seksi greatly.
Yeah, that'll be a possible big game changer, because after each fight, if he has any downtime, he can heal up his army. Doesn't need to waste any of his precious moon wells and leave that for like true emergencies, like if he gets, Hex stumped or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so that could be a big game change there, and we see almost level 6 on the Shadow Hunter as well. So Seksi still has the hero advantage in terms of hero levels, but now, fighting-wise at least, it feels like it shifted back into Mog's favor. And Mog going up to 100 food army looks like he's going to go ahead and try and take out Fao, probably, but you never really know. And Fao was allowed to drain 2 of those top mines, currently working on a 3rd, and up to 8,000 gold, so enough to at least be a nuisance.
A player's forces are under attack.
And yeah, Seksi's really looking like he does not want to get hit again, and may suicide. I doubt he'll actually pull it off, but certainly threatening to at least.
Well, let's start saying, "Do it, Mog. Let's see some suicide." And here we go. Alien coming back in, looks like.
Yeah, so interesting that Alien apparently really wants to fight Seksi, doing a nice job of keeping the eye on the 50 food, but I'm not confident, even with an 80 versus 50, that Seksi will lose. I still think he might actually take out most of Alienware here.
Yeah, just with like buying time and just doing nothing but breath fire over and over and over.
And he's not even trying to build an army right now. He's pretty confident in his skills to go ahead and take down most of this, at least. Alien's got to be careful, make sure he staffs his units, because if you lose any units in this situation, that's pretty much unquestionable. There we go, does lose a tank right there, so... doing damage to buildings, at least. Could probably focus more on these moon walls if you really wanted to do some damage here. Interesting that Mog is being left alone again, though. And we'll see if his decision is to hit Seksi or if he does take out Foul. Looks like he's moving towards Seksi in the top right, so Seksi may experience his expansions running dry yet again, and pretty much just a waste of gold by rebuilding them, unfortunately.
Seksi lost a Wyvern at the very end of the fight, and he gained a Priest. And all he lost was buildings.
Yep. And obviously, buildings are important to hold on to, but Seksi smartly building a lot of moonwalls here, and as Rectify pointed out at one point, there's really no reason to not just build a ton of moonwalls since they're so incredibly useful. And yeah, Seksi is threatening to go ahead and pull a full suicide here. We'll see if he actually does so, since this is an FML game, and it was needed for qualifying for the season to win this game. Or at least to win one of his games. So, pulling off a full suicide means you really managed to piss somebody off.
Yeah, Mog just taking out all of Seksi's expansions again. He's down to... he's at 3,800 gold, but only 700 wood. We'll see...
Yeah, so it's going to be tough to rebuild here, and the Keep the Grove does go down. No 6 for it. This could be a good game for Seksi. I really like the position that Mog's going to be in if Seksi is taken out of this. Only one place to TP to. He has pretty much no units all around here. I think this could be the game over. We'll see if Alienware comes in time to save him, but we do see that the Dark Ranger is going to go down as well, so that's 2 heroes down. Panda is hexed. We'll see if the Panda follows suit. It's level 6, so it can use its ultimate to get out of the way, and if he's smart, he'll go ahead and do that now, and he is killed just in the nick of time. And we see 3v1 going on against Mog, but Mog still has more army compared to all of them, I think. Tanks may be the only thing able to do any damage here.
We got a 3-way fight here going.
In Seksi's base, and Seksi probably not appreciating Blizzard hurting his own units.
Help. Well, they're already here, guys.
Yep.
And DV that American FFA. 4 players in one place.
Ooh, and we're going to see the Archmage go down here as well, so... Foul TP's out. We're going to see Mountain King force the TP out. Seksi may go down. Let's see if we get a Blade Master ultimate here.
And then there's me typing like this is like a WWF thing. It's madness in the pit here at the WC Arena. Mog, take Seksi down to the canvas.
Is that a little humble brag about being in the game live?
A little bit, yes. It was
Fair
fun.
enough. Fair enough.
It was pretty entertaining. We were laughing. Yes, this looks like the end of Seksi. I could have sworn he stayed longer, but, Well,
maybe he's going to rebuild. He is moving those wisps around the map. And Mog, nice job of scouting all these mines, so we'll see if he manages to take them out. Seksi is not a player to give up, and with those heroes coming back, I mean, you don't love Night Elf heroes in Micro Arena, but you do love them for silencing the army and letting somebody else fight Mog.
We got Foe harassing Mog again. He's got a 5-3. He's spawned his 5-3-3, so he's got his level 2 nukes up. And just killing peons on your way. Slowly edging his heroes up a little bit closer.
Yep, and Mog harassing Alienware's expos as that happens. Alienware saying that we should go ahead and hit the undead. I'm a little confused by that, but... it seems... Okay, there we go. Moving to Mog's base, and Mog not going to be able to finish off all of these moonwalls, which those are something you definitely want to be able to kill off. Level 7 on the Shadow Hunter. Gotta expect Mog to TP in soon, try and save what he can. TP's on only the Mountain King, so we could see that Paladin get hexed and go down really quickly. There we go, Divine Shield.
Yep, smart move. Divine Shield, yep.
Smart move by Alien. And we do see it is a true 3v1 against Mog right now, the only problem being Seksi doesn't really have anything to hit him with. So, Mog doing a really nice job of keeping these Wind Riders split up right now.
Seksi trying to get Foul to cancel an expansion. Who
Yep.
doesn't seem to be having any of it.
And there we go. We do see Blademaster Ultimate is going off now, and Mog apparently sick of getting harassed by Foul, going to try and take him out. I would be very shocked if this is not the end of Foul, though he does have 6,000 wood, but only 90, or 6,000 gold, but only 90 wood.
That's surprising to see us from an undead player, because they have pretty good wood collection.
Yeah, I think he must have had his ghouls killed off early on and didn't notice. That's the only thing I can think of, at least.
Hmm.
And, well, Mog is certainly not going to be lacking in the hero level department. That's for sure.
A player's forces are under attack.
Stomp, goodbye. Ooh, that crit.
Just melting away at these heroes, and Lich comes just in time to die as well.
Yeah, who was it? I was playing one of the first couple of games I played after coming back. I think it was Talaxlu or somebody. Somebody had, it was on a Twilight Ruins map, and he had a disgusting Blade Master with like 4 or 5, like I think 4 plus 12 or 15 claws, boots, and lightning orb. He was doing like 400 crits. It was just disgusting. He'd walk around, one shot a unit, run away. Like, what do you do? What do you do? And I'm like, my poor Death Knight's just like, oh, excuse me, and then my dead.
Excuse me while I die over here. So interesting, Mog not trying to finish him off, seeing that I think Alienware is headed his way and just trying to save a TP. Level 6 on the Archmage right now, so you can bet Mog is certainly going to be trying to focus that down as much as possible. Nice job actually healing up these Wind Riders, and yeah, it looks like Alienware is not going to have a good chance of surviving here.
There we go, yeah, instant TP out.
And let's see.
Odin? Oh.
So heads up play by Alienware to staff that away.
I'm surprised. So now that there's no more Night Elf, well, not really no more Night Elf, I'm surprised Mog doesn't have a Tauren Totem down to help deal with the tanks.
Yeah, that is surprising that he hasn't at least built one. On the other hand, that might just be too much to add in the mix. Maybe he thinks he has Chimeras, and he's worried about the Chimeras doing splash damage to them, and he forgot he was Orc. That's my theory.
Yeah, maybe if we got in earlier, it would be a viable possibility, but it's pretty late now, and mines are pretty much all gone except, let's see, mid.
Except for Foul, who continues to drain mines. I mean, he's really just sucking the gold away from everybody else, and I would not be surprised to see if he had the top score for resources. Except for the lack of wood. So there we go. Mog breaking out those Troll Bat Riders to go ahead and take down as much as he possibly can. Does have to be wary of that Dark Ranger, though, since you can easily take out 2 Bat Riders by charming one and killing the other with it. And, ooh, Mog sees that there's a mass TP coming in here due to the scouts, but he's going to have to hurry back here, make sure nothing bad happens. Nice job getting that mass TP into a good spot. That's really going to hurt on the burrows, and Mog could very quickly be food capped right now. He is down to 80, so he is food capped at 80. If he loses one more burrow, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And this fight going in Alienware's direction, actually, based on the positioning. Mog able to use that big bad voodoo there, gets distracted, and forces Alienware to go ahead and TP out here. But very nice job by Alienware actually doing some damage here. Killed off 42 food worth.
Wow, yeah.
Which you don't expect to see when there's triple 6+ heroes for an orc.
And they only got a level 4 Mountain King Paladin too, though. So nice micro there, and Alien's definitely playing a little bit much smarter here. He's preemptively using his staves on his units, because we all know, he knows that, of course, with the high level Blade Master, with Bloodlust, with the Wyverns out, the DPS is insane. So you need to, before it happens, you gotta staff your units out. You gotta use your vulnerability early, and if you're using, by the time you're thinking, oh shit, maybe I should use it, that might be too late. So good play by him.
And what he lacks in micro compared to the other players, he really does make up for in just overall free-fall sense. He reminds me a little bit of Renault in this sense, but I mean, perhaps a little different style, but still just that very aware style of play. And now Mog gonna have to deal with some harassment from Foul as well. He's probably hoping to get some gold at 50 food, because he is staying there right now, but he's losing peons and has not switched peons back over in his other expansion. We do see that the Bat Riders get completely caught up. He is not using any of them for concoction. That's going to hurt Mog. And he's not paid any attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't manage to get a kill on either of the undead heroes as well, so overall not very successful there by Mog, and really he's starting to struggle from the constant 3v1 teaming. You can see that he's really having trouble keeping up with all the different attacks, and I mean, this is why Mass TP is so wonderful for human.
Yep, and there's my favorite spell, one of my favorite spells in the game being used, Invisibility. And the knight moving east to Seksi's mine.
Yeah, this would be an interesting choice by Alienware if you wanted to go attack either Seksi or Foul right now, because they are making progress against Mog, but the moment they let him back into the game and let him hoard at 50 for a while, he's going to be right back there as the dominant player. And he appears to just be scouting with it, actually.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Seksi gets his third hero back in the game. Really wants to get level 6 on that Keep of the Grove, and I would not be surprised to see him just pick off a few of Foul's acolytes, to be honest.
Yep. He'd be... Oh, well, I was going to say, if he had just... He can do some cheeky moves, like, if he was close to... if you had just one more experience, you can kill one acolyte and move your other two heroes away to get full XP to get level 6, but he's moving away from the...
Yeah,
gold
he
mine.
must be looking for a gold mine that Mog has, and he doesn't want to piss off Foul.
Oh, he doesn't see it, I think. Or maybe the minimap is messed up, because they still never fixed that, where, like, if you look at, certain people's vision in replays, you sometimes don't see buildings or whatever. Yeah.
I think he does know it's there, but you never really know, and... Let's see, he has to be careful that he doesn't accidentally get hit by one of the other players as well, since Instinct does say that you hit somebody that's moving. Alright, so what do you think about going ahead and kicking this up to 2 times speed? Do you want to keep going at 1 or move it up?
2 is good. Yeah, let's bump it up.
Alright, so we'll do a 3, 2, 1, go. Go on,
okay.
Go. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. And it does look like we're in a little bit of an impasse right now, which really is going to favor Mog because he's mining at 50, but he does have to be careful because he can only go up to 70 at the moment. Really needs to get at least one more burrow. And did mine out that last one. Could probably go ahead and use some of these peons for scouting as well, to be honest. Doesn't really need any more wood for the rest of the game. Seksi looks like he may go for a hidden army, which would be smart.
He's going to be able to mine another 300 gold. To bump it up to, that's 1100, and the mine next to him is still there with 1,000 left, so he can walk his trees over.
And the Chimera does go ahead and move back there. Mog now playing a little bit of a defensive game, making sure that there's no more mass TP into his base. I mean, gee, I wonder why he doesn't want that happening. And so we got Alienware at 2.7, Foul has 2.5, Mog at 3.7, and Seksi at just under 1,000 right now. And we've got Alienware with the only really large mines left. He's got about 6,000 in the middle, and I'm surprised that they're actually letting him have that. I would kind of expect Mog to go back and harass with a couple of Wind Riders, or maybe even just send the Blade Master in and use Blade Storm on them. There we go, Mass TP coming into the expansion. Should take down at least the peons here, and we do see that the expansion getting very low, and Mog coming in, but a little too late. And this will be the question of, can he manage to prevent it? Yep, Paladin does go down here, and forced to use a true TP. They're not able to Mass TP out of the mess, so maybe worth it, maybe not for Alienware. He's got to decide how much he likes to throw that stuff away.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, we do have Foul playing kind of the Talaxlu style play, a very passive, but having passively mined a lot of the map's gold. He does still kind of in the position where he has gold, he has an army, and a decent chunk of gold, but not the hero level. So it'll be a lot of kind of sitting back, letting the other guys throw themselves at each other and possibly edging out a win in the end is kind of his strategy, looks like.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that he's leaving that army where it is. If I was in his shoes, I would be hiding the hell out of that army the way Seksi
Oh, yeah.
is.
Like way in the corner.
Yep.
Same way that Seksi's doing, actually.
And Seksi's got to be careful not to lose a hero here. He is getting very cocky bringing that around there. Silence goes off. Does manage to get on the Shadow Hunter. Nice move on that, but got to be careful on this Keeper of the Grove. Staff does just get off, but damn, that Blade Master is fast. Oof, huge crit there, and the Hex goes off, and Stomp just gets that TP off barely in the nick of time, and we see Foul coming out, actually going to play aggressive, it looks like. So Mog's base is going to be wide open here, and Mog cleverly scouting out, seeing where it is, does not see that hidden army though. So, yep, going to go ahead and take out these Moonwells, and that will food block Seksi before long. Mog going to have to TP in soon though, and I'm not sure why he continues to use those on Frostbrims and Chimeras more than Hippos and Gargoyles. Just 3 heroes. Does have 53 food, so he's got some Wyvern hiding around somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where they are, though.
A player's forces are under attack.
Do you see any Wyvern for Mog?
I
feel like he must have some.
Oh, it's,
Oh, there they are. Got it.
Yeah.
They're hidden in the back a little bit. Oof, and
nice
big
stomps.
Blade Storm here. Gonna go ahead and get off decent bit, and we'll see how much of the towers go down to the tanks right now. Mog much more focused on microing the heroes right now, and we're going to see that the... Ooh, unlucky actually on the crit there. Knocks it out. Almost had the Hex and could have had the Stomp momentarily later. Purge does save the Archmage's life, and now it's going to be another 2v1 against Mog, so they are not coordinating 3v1, which from a replay standpoint, thank God, but from an in-game standpoint, a little bit sloppy. And we do see Seksi hiding stuff around the base. You can see he's clearly a little scared that he's going to have a base race go on here. We're going to see a full 3v1 right now. This may be the end of Mog. Mog is at 700 food, and at this point, the only thing that the gold is good for is really buying scrolls of teleportations, potions of vulnerability, etc. So, unfortunately, strongest player could get teamed out of this game. And is Alienware switching focus or just losing control of his army?
A player's forces
It's like losing control. It's definitely a 4-way dance here. Ooh, there goes Keeper.
Yep, and so now Foul is willing to switch over and hit Alienware, which pretty good instincts. I mean, Alienware at 80 food, 4,000 gold. I'm impressed that Foul's able to make that determination to switch over and not overly team Mog. Although, no matter what army there is, you do have to worry about these 3 high-level Orc heroes. And so Mog keeping determination, obviously very worried about Seksi. Seksi does have these 8 Chimeras hidden. Would not be the first time we've seen a hidden army win this. Probably won't be the last. But Mog pretty aware that he needs to try and get at least one player out of the game and determines that Seksi is the easiest to do it. We'll see if he does manage to do it. Somewhat surprised he hasn't actually gone and bought Staffs of Teleportation on his heroes though.
Yeah, there are a lot of disables and interrupts, but...
I'm actually more thinking so he doesn't have to use the Scroll of Teleportation to get back to his base. He could just use 3 Staffs of Teleportation. Oh, there we go. And Alienware did call out Seksi, so they're now aware of his hidden army. Seksi moving it and Foul trying to find it, so Seksi may have unfortunately got scouted a little too early, and he did put in pretty much the most obvious hiding spot ever. But now it looks like he is going to carry his entire army around, and that's a pretty ferocious army to fight, actually. I could easily see him being able to take Alienware in a 1v1, and it will be close to see how Mog and Seksi stack up 1v1 against each other right now. Do you see Great Hall going up for Mog, going to try and get as much gold as possible before this game ends? And then Mog perfectly calling out what's going on right now. Although he actually misguessed on Fao's gold, since Fao did have the most gold, but he had to rebuild an army and blew through most of it.
Players' forces are
Yeah, same with Mog. Like, he had so much gold banked at one point, but once you've
3v1 takes its toll.
and he was also mining at 100 for quite a while.
Yeah. So at this point, who would you say is in the lead right now? I mean, every person really does have different characteristics going for them.
I would give the edge to Alien because of mass TP.
Yeah, I think I would have to as well, and he does have a significant gold advantage.
Yeah, and he does finally manage to get his levels up on his heroes. So he's got a good level of Holy Light with good micro on his stabs, and if he doesn't lose too many units, he has the potential to eke out the win.
Yeah, I might actually say that while Mog has the best heroes, I'd put him in 3rd place right now. I mean, clearly he's in better position. Ooh, that Keeper of the Grove super low there, and we'll see if the Shadowhunter survives. We do not have a TP, and the Shadowhunter goes down, and that could be the end of Mog's chances of winning right now. It's now a question of the 1v1 against Seksi, and AlienWareOwnZ does get that Keeper of the Grove out just in the nick of time. So I think this puts the ball firmly in Alien's court, and they're going to have to go ahead and hard press against Alien and start a 3v1 there. We'll see. So there should be enough items to sell to... No, not enough items to sell to bring the Shadowhunter back. Oh, there we go. He already did. Never mind. Wow, so actually this is one of the games that I've seen the teaming done very, very well, to be honest. I'm impressed. Too often you see somebody get over-teamed, and you might be able to make a case for Mog being over-teamed, but it doesn't really feel like it. It feels like it's actually that was the appropriate amount. Now they're going to switch over to Alienware, and Alienware is going to try and take out a player with mass TP. We'll see if he manages. So Alienware is convinced that Seksi's won. Seksi's convinced Alienware's won. Mog's going to be the tiebreaker here. Who does Mog think's winning? And who does Mog have the biggest grudge against?
Yeah, again, I keep wondering. Well, I wonder how the game might have turned out. I mean, it's been a really fun game in terms of balanced, when it comes to, like, who has been kind of, like, well, the balance of power has definitely been shifting a lot during the game. Again, I wonder what it might have been like if this was actually a 3-way from the very get-go. Yeah,
that's definitely an interesting question, and, I mean, honestly, it probably wouldn't have been that much different. Just when you think about it, and woof, the Shadowhunter getting low again. There is no TP to go around on any of these, and Shadowhunter is just running the hell away, is silenced right now, and we do see that bunch of the casters are going down, and that Torrent Chieftain will be able to revive here. But Seksi's army just incredibly strong right now. Torrent Chieftain can be sacrificed as the Blade Master Shadowhunter run away. Boom. And so Seksi being able to take his revenge, hid the army just long enough. We'll see if Alienware goes for base grace or what his plan's going to be for taking out Seksi. But he cannot take him in a 1v1 fight. Going to have to rely on mass TP, I think. And honestly, you never know. Fao may be just kind of left in the dark here, and if they kill each other off, if Alienware manages to lose all his army to Seksi, Mog is actually killed off, and then Seksi gets base raced out of it. There's a possibility for Fao. And Fao trying to get 3rd, but you should realize by now he's not getting 3rd. He can either get a win or 4th.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you're in... Let's go, actually, never mind. We're going to have a big fight come up here. Looks like, at least. And there's a lot of units right there that Seksi could take down if he plays this perfectly. Keep harassing with the Panda. Go ahead and charm some stuff out of there. Nice staff by Seksi. And this is really the type of game that Seksi needs to continue to play if he wants to pull off this win. Just get as much of the base down as he can. Stick around. Make sure that there's no way that Alienware is able to wear down his buildings, and 2v1 coming in against Alien. Or at least it looks that way.
Yeah, this is where, unfortunately, one of Orc's weaknesses does come through is like, yes, they have fantastic, they can hear, wonderfully with, Blademaster, TC, and SH, but they have the weakness in terms of army when it comes to like unit preservation, because they've got staff of preservation, staff of sanctuary becomes so powerful, so useful in these late game fights where every unit counts, and you lose a unit, your army just becomes that much more weaker.
Yep, absolutely. And we do see that the Tauren Chieftain is on its way back out, but Seksi realizes it's coming and gonna go ahead and take out Mog momentarily. So this is gonna be the end of it for Mog, it looks like. And down goes the Shadow Hunter.
Boom.
Blademaster gonna be able to get away kind of regardless of what goes on there. Charm. Dark Ranger, when an army is this big and there's so few units left, really becomes so crucial late game.
Mm-hmm. You make your opponent lose a unit, and you gain one. Win-win.
There we go. Mog thinking that his only chance of doing anything pretty much is to go ahead, take out units. Probably hoping that this is the last building left. And there we go. So Seksi is going to be taken out of the game. Seksi is going to be base race. Where the hell is the other... Oh, there's one Tree of Life left. Fao has discovered it, so this is going to be Seksi with the best armor in the game. Goes out. This is going to be a 2v1 against Alien now, and boy, that was a close one.
Ooh, that base race.
Oof, so Seksi played that very, very well, but just a few units that or a few too many, too few, buildings left. So now it's in Alien's best interest to go ahead and take somebody out as quickly as possible, you'd think. And we'll see if Mog is able to do any damage and help out here, but I think Alien should be able to take Fao 1v1. Not enough damage done to Alien by Seksi before Seksi died. Oof. So Blademaster comes in, does a bunch of damage actually, but Fao sitting at 59, Alien with 800 gold sitting at 81, and obviously Mog just left with that Blademaster praying for everybody to disconnect around him. He has probably firmly secured himself with 11 points though. Now that Seksi's out of the game, and this could be the last of Mog as well. So 1v1, we've got Fao versus Mog, and any way you cut it here, probably not going to go well for Fao, but he will get to level up this Lich. So arguing, trying to get himself into a not 4th place finish, probably not going to work very well for him. And as weird as it is, it would have been in Fao's better interest to let Seksi live for a while longer. I mean, hard to know in the heat of the moment that was going to be the last building, etc. But hindsight being 2020 and all that, he needed Seksi alive.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go, wrapped up for Alien now. Alien will be our winner. Mog will get 11 points, I believe. And very good game, actually. So let's start with our top score person, I'm assuming, Mog. And what do you think he did well? What do you think he needed a little work on in this game?
I would say that he did have some... Probably one of his strengths is definitely toming Fao a lot, like not pressuring him just enough to farm him for tome him for levels and levels, backing off, but doing it just enough so that yes, towards the end, once it started becoming more of a 3- and 4-way mix-up instead of the 2 1v1s, I think he did a great job of balancing it out because there was not a lot of chat. The Manip and chat didn't start until it became that 4-way dance, and before that, he was managing his economy, getting his tech up, and simultaneously expanding. Weaknesses, I'd probably say wanted to scout a little bit more, just to ensure that, especially if he saw that Fao was doing like that super quick tier 3 rush with no expansion, that should set off some warning bells in most people's heads going, what the hell? Undead has some free expansion spots, because it's this is a nice map in that if there's there's not one quote-unquote real natural. There's, the mines are all spread out evenly in a line around the outer edges. So it's not like, oh, this is my natural, I'm going to take it as my one guaranteed mine. This is where you have, additional mines to both your east and your west. So with neither of them taking, that should have sent off alarm bells in most people's heads. So maybe a little bit better on the scouting, but overall I'd say very solid play. I would maybe say almost a little bit more on the minute in terms of like to help maybe being avoided the being 3v1 for so long, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I actually thought Mog played a really solid game, and the only thing I could say is maybe he should have, when he did see that the tides were turning against him, he needed to be quicker about actually taking one of the players out. But he did try that hard against Seksi. I mean, he almost completely took Seksi out early on. So really just a very nicely played game by Mog, and sometimes the breaks go against you.
Yeah, it's when the opponent you want to take out the most is a cross map, it does become really difficult. I had actually a very similar game against DV, and then I bitched a little bit in the shout box because he had a level 6 Death Knight. So it was on Death Rows, and we were cross map. I was Orc, he was Undead, and he had a level 6 Death Knight before I can get a level 7 TC, or excuse me, yeah, 7 TC. So he can get to my side of the map much more quickly, and because I have casters I got to lug around, and he just has air. Every time I wanted to fight, and then he can heal up and get to his side of the map, he's already over me and fighting. And it's one of those things where, it simply happens. Cross map can be your strongest opponent, but them's the breaks. That's how free-for-all is, so.
Yep. So let's go with Seksi next. I thought that Seksi played a pretty strong game. I mean, he fought Alien well early on. He had a really strong creeping pattern, probably the best out of any of the players. Good expansions early on, but he really just got trapped being greedy at 50 when Mog came to kill him. And he didn't scout that well. That was really the only problem, was he didn't see Mog coming, and he did not know what was going on between Fau and Mog when they were fighting, and it led to him being hit once. Pretty much everything got taken out for him. He got teamed down and was unable to build everything back. And also, I guess, going hand in hand with that, his wood management was not on par this game. But aside from that, I thought it was a well-played game, and if he hadn't had his building killed at the end, then he probably had a really good chance at winning.
That rebuild at the end was very, very nicely done.
Yep, so you want to go ahead and cover Alienware?
Yep, Alien, let's see. So some a little bit questionable in terms of micro early on. He did get some expansions out quickly, did make a very quick 80 food to try to take on Seksi, but a little bit of, I would say, perhaps army composition could be a little bit more balanced in terms of what to build against Seksi. So because he was building dryads, perhaps instead of building some tanks, if he built like a mortar breaker caster army, that I think would have been very effective in taking out Seksi early on. But yeah, I think he held it together though. Overall, kept his cool, improved it a little bit in terms of the micro. Didn't get too frazzled by having like 5-1-1 against, what was it? 6-5-3 at one point. Kept it together, made sure to stick it out to the very bitter end, and got a win.
Yeah, and you could really tell that his experience shone through here. I mean, just really fantastic decision-making, and I think that's definitely the strongest part of his game. And he knew who to hit, when to hit, had a good idea of who was the strongest throughout the game. So just a nice job on his part, and shows that you don't have to be a micro monster in order to win free-for-all.
Oh, absolutely.
And then Fau, actually, I thought as the game went on, he actually played better, and I was impressed by his free-for-all sense later on, but really questionable decision-making early on. Took forever to get an expansion. Nice job going cross-map, though. That was what you should do, and he trusted that the players wouldn't try to screw him over, which they didn't. But if you're going to go for that build, then you're either trying to take Mog out early on, which you could have, or you need to get those expansions up a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pretty much going to be echoed pretty much the exact same thing. The early game decision making could be a little bit improved on. And it's not always, I mean, it's one of those things you see more in these custom in-house games where the cross-map expansion is like, the unofficial rule is, if you see your sandwiched player do that, the general rule is that you let them do it, because trying to take it down, earning their ire early on, and potentially fighting is almost always not nearly as profitable as, say, just creeping the rest of the map, getting your levels up, getting your other expansions out. So, counting on that is better in these custom games where that's like the unwritten rules. It's like, you're on a map where you have like weird gold mines and everyone says, okay, well, let's expand counterclockwise. Is like the quote-unquote normal way to expand. You can't count on that all the time, because what if someone rushes you? What if they say, you know what, that's the norm, I'm going to expect that and use that against you, kind of a thing.
Yep, that's very much true. But we've gone long enough, I think. I'm sure people are tired of listening to us ramble on by now. So thank you all for watching. I'm sure that we'll be back to do some more soon. Before we go, let's give you a plug for your Twitch channel. You can watch Vyvanne at
twitch.tv.vyvanne, Vyvanne.
And thank you so much for casting with us today, Vyvanne. We hope to see you back soon.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yep, so we'll catch you all later.
See you guys.